It is that time again to call out Channel 1. Oh boy, I mean, how many times do I have to keep doing this? Because it seems again I have to constantly follow the cycle when Pine Power LI calls out News 12 in Long Island. You know, this is the cycle that I must continue on here in the city because a lot's going on as usual, and of course, a lot's going on in Queens. You know, you would think that in the papers they would lead off with that awful story of that girl that was ran over in Far Rockaway, right? No. There's nothing about it on the website. Nothing. In fact, as soon as it broke last night, Channel 7 was immediately on it. You know, so it just shows what Channel 1's priorities are. It just shows what they're gearing to. You want proof? You want proof. Look at this. I mean, this doesn't show the blatant disregard of what they care about at Spectrum. Today we are actually going to take a look at the In the Paper segment with Pat Kiernan. Let's see what Pat Kiernan had the audacity to do, because trust me, the New York Times thumbnail is going to be for today. Let's see what Pat talks about.
Hold that gold. Russia has had a lot of issues in recent Olympic events with athletes failing drug tests, and that's true. Kamila Valieva competing in the Olympics because of past sham of the athletes competing.
I mean, really, this is what Channel 1 is gearing
also,
to.
in the papers this morning, the Post has a profile of a Brooklyn resident who specializes in the sale of human bones. They are either for medical purposes or professional.
It shows what type of demographic they're gearing to.
More than 100 spots will end.
And you think they wouldn't even talk about the fact that Con Edison bills have gone up this month? No.
Bullied competitors over Patreon.
I mean, so far I'm fast forwarding through this video, I'm not seeing anything about the Con Edison. You would think that would be a major story in the newspaper. You would think it would be.
Peloton essentially bought Flywheel, created by the mandates. It says Gov.
Oh, look at this. They're showing Newsday. What does this have to do with New York City? Newsday is a Long Island newspaper. Show the daily news of the New York Post.
Cities can set a stricter policy if they want to. For the most part, though, it does seem like if you want to take.
I'm seriously considering getting an online subscription to Daily News.
You will be able to.
Because at least our newspapers are at least talking about what's going on. Somewhat. Oh, look at this! No surprise what the Daily News has on the front page. No surprise!
Sharply see them from the streets. Betty Davis has died. Not that Betty Davis, this Betty Davis. With a Y. Found them immunocompromised people.
And of course, they're going to show the New York Times. No surprise.
Being at greater risk for COVID. A parent said that days or of White House. A podcast about celebrity memoirs is branching out.
See what I mean? I'm literally fast forwarding through this video. We've only been through it, what, 3 minutes already, and I've had to fast forward through a majority of it. And of course, they're going to show the Wall Street Journal. Of course they're going to show the Wall Street Journal.
It is designed around job networking. Most users put their best foot forward.
Well, I do care about this because I am getting a new boss at Northwell beginning in March, so obviously I will mention off the record that I have been reinstated back by Northwell and I'm going back in March. But the point is, you know, this is ridiculous. You know, you would think that the big news story of the day would be about Northwell Health allowing non-essential workers to go back to hospital sites. Nope! They don't care. I mean, that's a major part of the economic recovery from COVID. Nope. In fact, let's see if the Daily News even has anything about the Con Ed thing on their homepage, because you would think that would be major news. You would think it would be major news. Let's see. Let's see. Let's go on their homepage. I mean, that's major news. Nope, nothing about it. So in order to literally find out about Con Edison, you have to Google them and then go directly onto the news site. Yeah, so I figured before we get to the crime, let's just read this. Let's just read this, and I'm just going to mention this. Today's title of the video will be Channel 1 Cares Too Much About Pop Culture and Economics. That's what we're going to title this video today, but it seems the main economic story that they're not caring about is, again, the fact that two major economic stories have happened. The first, again, like I just mentioned, Northwell Health officially reinstates non-essential workers after a 2-month shutdown from December. Okay, that's a major news story. That's a major news story. And then this should have been mentioned in the papers too. But no. Nope. So here we go. Now, I'm sure you've been noticing it on the other stations. I have. And my dad was the first to bring it up to me ever since the media has been covering it. And Con Edison bills, here's one example. One resident named Andrea Lewis, who lives in Prospect Lefferts Garden section of Brooklyn, her bill went up from $163 to $512. I mean, that's crazy. That kind of sounds suspicious. And you know what Con Edison's claiming? And we're going to see if we can find it. Global fuel market in the dual structure of electric bills. I mean, really? This is how you double-cross your customers. So it's clearly obvious what Channel 1 is gearing to. Clearly is. And you want proof that nobody's covering Northwell Health in the news? You want proof. You want proof that people are glad they can go back to their offices inside any hospital site, like Long Island Jewish, for an example, North Shore, Franklin, Syosset, Huntington. Those are examples of hospitals I can think of. Oh, Staten Island's part too. Don't forget Lenox. So you would think that there would maybe be a 30-second mention on the news. Northwell Health CEO Michael Dowling allows non-essential workers to return back to Northwell Health sites. Nope. Nothing about it. Nothing about it. No. Which again, I'm one of those non-essential workers that's supposed to come back in March. Nope. So it clearly shows what the media's priorities are. Clearly. You would think that they care so much about the COVID recovery that they would cover it. No. And you want more blatant proof that they care about what their own priorities are. Let's see where I can even find find it. Yeah. Yeah, here it is. Look. Today's our first day where we don't have to wear a mask inside businesses. And then the Wicked Witch of Buffalo says, oh, we're going to reassess face masks for children in March. I mean, this is becoming enough already. I mean, with these variants and the fact that, enough people have already gotten sick already, even if they've been triple vaccinated. I mean, when is this going to be enough? Oh, let's see if we can even find the weather. That's another major story. That's another major story. No video. No surprise. Let's see. No video. Like Channel 12 at least has a video. For their Long Island bureau. I mean, Channel 1 is such a joke that they don't even want to mention the fact that the weather is going to be crazy in the next couple of days. There's a chance we may even get some snow on Sunday. On Super Bowl Sunday. And a friend of mine is supposed to be seeing a Broadway show on Sunday. And I literally told her, keep an eye on the weather. And once I told her that, she wasn't happy. So, trust me. I mean, The Lion King is a show that she's been really looking forward to seeing. And last thing she needs is more crazy weather. Alright, so let's get to the crime news. And a lot's going on, obviously. And we're going to lead off with that girl who was, unfortunately, struck by a car. And obviously, you're not going to see anything about it on AM New York's crime section. So let's see if we can find it in the Queens part of AM New York. Hopefully we'll find something about it. And thankfully, here it is. Thankfully, there is an article on AM New York, because I was getting worried. But you know what? Sometimes if you're going through AM New York's website, you got to go through the specifics. So here's something that Channel 1 should have been covering. And again, Channel 7, right when this broke last night, after 6 p.m., and I recorded Channel 7 last night. In most cases, I do DVR the 6 o'clock news, because I'm just annoyed with New York 1 that I can't watch them at 6 o'clock. I just rather would watch the other channels that, you know, this is what it's become. So let's read this. Davina Afokoba. Okay. That a block away from her home when a 34-year-old woman jumped a curve in her Mazda SUV at Beach Channel Drive and crashed into a car wash, pinning the child against the building. The fatal crash just happened before 4:15 p.m. between Dix and Mott Avenue. Paramedics declared Afokoba dead on the scene, and another pedestrian, a 33-year-old woman, was also injured but was taken to Jamaica Hospital in stable condition. The motorist was also brought to the same hospital in stable condition. Police did not know whether the girl was related to the other pedestrian. Afokoba was the second young child hit by a driver Wednesday, just over an hour after a 5-year-old boy in Midwood, Brooklyn, was critically injured by a woman reversing into a driveway just before 3 p.m. The driver in Queens reportedly only had a learner's permit, according to the New York Post, but a police spokesman could not confirm that. However, photos from the scene showed the car had a bumper sticker saying, "New driver, please be patient." The vehicle also didn't have a rear license plate, but the driver had temporary paper plates and had the rear window, which was registered to Texas, according to the spokeswoman. Okay. So there is no immediate arrest. There is an investigation. Oh, then look at that. 31 serious crashes since 2011 and injured 38 people and killed 1. Wow. I mean, that's unfortunate. So I just want to see where this was in Far Rockaway. It said Mott Avenue, but what intersection? Okay, Dix. So I think I have an idea where that is. Where I can find it. Actually, we can look up where the car wash was. That's not it. Wrong article. Let's see. Car wash, Far Rockaway. So I think I might know which one this is. I think I got an idea. You know what? We can just Google it. Much better idea. Beach Channel Drive. I mean, that's not right. Okay. Hit copy. Now it should work. Not gonna help me. Ah, okay, now it should be able to find it. Okay, here's Dick Savion. And I believe I know where this car wash is. Yep, somewhere around here. Somewhere around here, I think. So let's see where we can find the car wash. Should be around here. Okay, this is unusual. It seems I can't find it. That is very, very unusual. I thought I could find out where this was, but apparently not. Very, very unusual. So what we can also do is Google... No, that's not it. Okay, now we'll be able to find it. Hopefully the video should load.
Accident. Surveillance video that we watched shows her.
You know, the lady came out the supermarket at a high rate of speed. I think her gas pedal got jammed.
Employees at this grocery store say this driver had just been shopping here moments before. She, along with the adult billings department, on the back entrance. It's still unclear.
Okay, now I can figure it out. Ivy Beauty Supply. Now I'll be able to know where it is. Alright, we found it. Good. So now I'll be able to show you what this car wash looked like before the accident. Oh, this is definitely it. This is definitely it. I know exactly where this is. Yep. So this is exactly where the accident happened. I knew we would find it. I knew we would find it. Look at that. I knew where to find it. So what's the last view we can look? All the way back in 2007. So is the BP gas station still there? Ah, so it's still there in 2022, because this is the last picture from November of 21. But again, very, very unfortunate. No, I don't want to go back to that one. Nope. I want to find the one in Brooklyn. Because Channel 7 also bought that one up, too. So here we go. Brooklyn Paper bought it up. So this happened on East 12th Street between Avenue N and O. Driver, a 49-year-old woman, a BMW with Florida plates, remained on the scene. Volunteers with Haftallah provided aid to the child on scene. The child was transported by the Haftallah ambulance to Maimonides Hospital, where he remains in critical condition. So the good news is the woman did remain on the scene. So... Oh, and then look at this. Very unfortunate. So much going on in Brooklyn. Coney Island Avenue and Avenue J. A teenager was left in critical condition after being struck by a truck while exiting a New York City bus. A 15-year-old was also hit and killed by a school bus driver. So yeah, I mean, very unfortunate what's been going on with all these accidents lately. And Channel 1 doesn't want to seem to cover it. Okay, so... Now we're going to move on to transit crime news. So let's read this. Daily News. No, let's go to the 1010 Wins article first. This happened to a 19-year-old woman. She was slashed by a man on a Manhattan subway train earlier this morning. The woman was riding a northbound 1 train near the 168th Street station in Washington Heights when she was attacked just after 12:20 a.m. Police said a man slashed her in the arm and then fled the train at the 161st Street subway station. The victim was taken to Columbia University Irving Medical Center where she was recovering. The suspect, who police believe is in his mid-20s, remained at large. Police said the woman did not know her attacker. The assault came a day after another woman was slashed across the face at the Lexington Avenue 59th Street station on the Upper East Side on Tuesday evening. And police say they are searching for a man who said tried to rape a woman on an E train as it was approaching the Canal Street station at 6th Avenue on Wednesday. So here you go. I mean, this is very unfortunate what's been going on with all the subway crime. So here we go. Stabbing happened on... Oh, this is back in January. Okay. I don't know why I clicked on this one. This is not recent news. Alright, so... Again, a lot going on. I actually did want to read this. A South Korean diplomat was sucker punched in the face as he walked in Midtown last night. The unprovoked attack happened at 8:10 p.m. at 5th Avenue and East 35th Street, just a block north of the Empire State Building. Yep, and I know exactly where this is. This is exactly 2 blocks where the old Wendy's used to be. A man came up and punched a 52-year-old diplomat in the face at random. The victim showed his diplomatic ID and he was being attacked. The diplomat was taken to an area hospital where he was in stable condition with pain and swelling to his face. The attacker fled toward 6th Avenue. No arrests have been reported as of Thursday. Okay. So, what I want to do is take a look at Daily News for a second. Oh boy. Look at this. Yanina Arroyo. Anybody remember that Grand Theft Auto incident that happened in the Bronx a couple years ago? The killer is still awaiting trial. I mean, what's going on with our court system? Jeez. Alright, so let's get to this one. I'm just going to close a couple stuff out. That way I can at least get organized. Uber driver is recovering after being grazed by a gunman's bullet while dropping off a passenger in Brooklyn early on Thursday morning. Law enforcement sources said the shooting happened at 6:17 a.m. on February 10th near the corner of Ocean Avenue and Fargonaut Road in Flatbush. According to police, the 39-year-old driver was in the middle of letting a customer out of his vehicle when the gunman walked up to the car and fired a shot that wound up grazing the driver's back. After pulling the trigger, police said the gunman walked back to a silver 2-door Volvo sedan that fled the scene. Officers from the 70th Precinct responded to the shooting. EMS brought the victim to Kings County Hospital for treatment of his injuries, which were non-life-threatening. So, obviously, no arrest. We do have a description. Police sources describe the shooter as a black man wearing a white t-shirt. So there you go. Take a look and see if there's any other crime news on AM New York, because I know the Queen's Courier has been busy. That's a given. And I'm going to leave Channel 1 to wrap up this video. But another shooting in Brooklyn. Get to this one. Detectives in Brooklyn are working to find a shooter who murdered a 36-year-old steps away from his house on Wednesday morning. Officers in the 75th Precinct found Mossadegh Khankar, 36, unconscious and unresponsive with bullet wounds to his head in front of the sidewalk at Forble Street between Liberty and Gilmore Avenue in City Line at about 12:46 a.m. on February 9th. EMS rushed Khankar to Jamaica Hospital where he died a short time later. Sources said the victim was married with a 4-year-old daughter. Khankar was apparently ambushed by a gunman as he was coming home from work. Police do not have any information about a motive or a description of the suspect. Obviously no arrests, so. Now let's get to some news from Queens, and before we get to the Queens Courier, I want to get into some news from Laura Uhl, and just trying to find out where that, no, that's not it. No. Where's that one that happened on the subway? I know she posted something about it, if we can find it. Here we go. It's mugging season while in New York City. While most people were sleeping, New York City reported 43 people were robbed, but the new term is mugging. For Queens, 6 people were robbed at the E and F lines from Union Turnpike to Jamaica Station. 3 delivery workers were robbed. Oh, and then look at this! 107 Precinct reports female victim robbed on Union Turnpike and Parsons Boulevard last night around 11:30 p.m. Technically Laura Uhl made an epic fail. That's not Fresh Meadows. That's actually Flushing. 2 victims were robbed on Hillside Avenue between Springfield Boulevard and Francis Lewis Boulevard. Oh, and then look at this. Jackson Heights, gang activities. February 8th, police report shots fired by 95th Street around 2:30 a.m. South Jamaica. I mean, really. And then there was a fire ignored in Jamaica. 170-12 Jamaica Avenue. Fire started around 4:30 a.m. in Jamaica on February 9th. Commercial lot. First floor with residents in the second floor. Injuries reported. Fire was brought under control at 5:30. Oh, and then look at this. Fire in Corona. 57-12 Penroyd Street. Private dwelling. I mean, so much is happening that Channel 1 could cover, but they just want to keep ignoring us. So let me see. The Courier had something about what happened, right? Wow, another incident. Another incident. So this is a different one. Okay. According to police, the crash took place at... Let me see. Rockaway Boulevard, 145th Drive, just before 7 p.m. on February 8th. 2 individuals in the hospital, 1 in critical condition. Police from 105 Precinct responded right away. Cops found 26-year-old driver of a 2019 Honda CR-V and a 30-year-old passenger with various injuries. So here we go. February 8th, 41-year-old man was driving a box truck along Rockaway Boulevard at the intersection of 145th Street and made a turn. The driver then made contact with a parent in the Honda, which was also traveling in the same intersection. Police reported the Honda was pinned under the box truck following the collision. Okay, here we go. So, the individuals were transported to Jamaica Hospital. The driver of the Honda was in stable condition. The passenger was in critical condition. Driver of the box truck did not sustain any injuries. And then we'll read this last one. What is going on the Rockaways? What is going on down there? Okay, here we go. Saturday night, February 5th. Shooting occurred at 9 p.m. in front of Sagat Deli and Grill at 17-39 Sagat Boulevard. A 27-year-old victim was walking past the trio when one of them engaged in conversation. 2 engaged in a verbal dispute. Escalated, the suspect pulled out a handgun and fired off a shot that struck the victim in the upper leg, according to authorities. The 3 assailants fled the scene on foot in an unknown direction. EMS responded to the scene and transported the victim to Health and Hospitals Queens and Hillcrest, where he was listed in stable condition. So there is a video of the suspect description. So here we go. Okay, so gunman's having a dark complexion and a thin build, and he was last seen wearing black sneakers, black pants, a blue t-shirt, and a black fur hooded winter jacket. Second man was wearing a dark colored winter jacket and gray sweatpants, and the third suspect was wearing a dark colored winter jacket and gray sweatpants. So here you go again. Channel 1 constantly trying to show what their true priorities are. Yep. Talking about COVID. Now, where do you have to wear a mask? That's the main question. The following, where you still have to wear a mask, goes as follows: hospitals, state-regulated healthcare, nursing home and adult care facilities, jails, homeless shelters and domestic violence shelters, public transportation, including airports, buses, subways, commuter rail lines, and airplanes. Now, regarding buses, subways, trains, and airplanes, that is set to expire on March 18th. Remember, that's a federal one. So, yep, obviously that's what's going on, and Channel 1 seems to keep putting us off as usual. So, that's going to wrap up this video. Thank you for watching.